Alright, y'all, what's going on? It's AFO back again with, another Titans update. It's been a while. The season finally started, and it didn't start off real well. I'm a day late. The Ravens-Raiders game just ended. It's, I've had time to recollect myself, I guess you could say, about yesterday. I was pretty mad, pretty pissed, just like any Titans fans. Had time to look back upon it and see what really went wrong, and everything went wrong pretty much. Had the O-line's number one, Taylor Lewan. I don't know what the heck that was. 3 sacks given up by himself to Chandler Jones. 5 sacks right there. And Chandler Jones, that's like that's an MVP candidate right there. I mean, he's already ahead of the pack, or not MVP, defensive MVP is what I meant, Player of the Year. So he's already ahead of the pack on that based on that performance alone. 2 strip sacks of Tannehill. The offense was out of sync. It's just you go into the season at high expectations, and we don't even throw the ball to Julio except for 3 times for 29 yards. AJ only caught it like 4 times for like 49 yards or something like that. Caught the touchdown, because we actually involved him on that touchdown drive. Funny how that happens. Henry couldn't get anything going because the O-line couldn't run and block well. There's just not much really else you can say about the offense other than the fact that when you have those weapons like that, and Sports Fan Entertainment, MJ, whatever you want to call him, He summed it up perfectly in his video. It was like his was like raw reaction after the game. This one's just more like summing up like what happened, but it's really anger, honestly. But this ain't really raw reaction. It's more just like why didn't we do this? Like going over it instead of just it's just ridiculous. You have Julio and you have AJ on the outside. Give him a chance. If you can't get the run game going, get the pass game going somehow. Quick passes. Our O-line was garbage at protecting yesterday, especially Lewan. People want to crap on Quisenberry, but at least he didn't give up all those sacks to Jones like Lewan did. Even Kendall Lamb, he didn't play too good, but he did better than Lewan too. Man, it's just, like, I know he's coming off the ACL, but, like, seriously, it's like I'm not going to make the take of he should focus on football, not his podcast, like some other people did, but it's like, man, you got to do better than that, and he's beating himself up for it, so maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but, you got to use your weapons. You got to, quick pass outs, or quick outs, bubble screens to A.J. Brown. They try to screen to A.J. Brown and they got tipped. Try it again like another time. Try a screen with Henry. Do something, ease the pressure off the O-line if the O-line was garbage enough yesterday. Ooh, excuse me. If the O-line was garbage enough yesterday. Because they weren't going to have time to throw it deep and do the crossing patterns that Corey Davis and A.J. Brown did last season. They just weren't holding up in yesterday's game, so offense got a lot to fix, and I think that has to do with them not playing in the preseason for one snap. One series is good. One series, somewhat cohesive maybe. Maybe we're overestimating that kind of about the whole preseason thing, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing, and you got to get that cohesion going, especially along the O-line. You got to have that cohesion and continuity to know if you can trust your fellow O-linemen, and they should have that trust already somewhat, at least 4 of them. They had it for 5 games last year, until Lewan got hurt. And then, who knew how big of a deal Dennis Kelly would be when he left? Like that void he left at right tackle. We don't even know if we want to start Quisenberry, Sambrelo, Kendall Lamb, even Dylan Radins. I think they want to keep him at guard, though, so I guess if Saffold leaves or even if Ben Jones leaves, someone gets flipped to center or something. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I think they're gearing him up to play guard, left guard once Saffold leaves or retires or one of the two. But, at this point, honestly, look at Mitchell Schwartz. We freed up cap space. Go sign him to like a 1-year deal or something once his medical issues get cleared or something, Do something. We can't just be acting a fool And I don't even know. It just perplexed me, like how bad our offense looked and how just indecisive, inconsistent. There was no consistency other than we were consistently inconsistent, if you want to call it that. Um, and the defense didn't even really do that bad. I mean, they didn't live up to our expectations, but they did better than what the offense showed us. Front seven, Bud Dupree didn't show up on the stat sheet too much, but he got some pressures. We got some pressure around the edge, but I think some of the stuff was just Kyler Murray, being an elite athlete and escaping that pressure and being able to, create his own play, create his own magic. And then Hopkins is, the Titan killer, it seems like, and he just always does good against us somehow, and you can't really stop that. Jeffrey Simmons did pretty well. He had a sack. Landry had a sack. Rashaan Evans, he's not a pass cover against an air raid offense. He struggled, obviously. That's where you miss David Long. So we were missing David Long to be able to come in on those, packages, on like the nickel packages to cover the air raid offense of Cliff Kingsbury, or whatever his name is. Being able to cover all that, and so I think Rashaan Evans, he wasn't built for that. He didn't play too well. He's a solid tackler, more of an in-the-box type of guy, but this just wasn't his game. Jayon Brown, his name didn't pop up anywhere. It's a good and a bad thing. Good in the sense that, it wasn't a good thing just because he didn't really make any highlight plays, in the pass game. Pass breakups. I didn't see any pass breakups, at least. I might be wrong on that. He just didn't stand out to me like he should have, but I guess that means they were throwing away from him as well and throwing towards Evans or throwing towards Molden, the rookie, who got beat pretty handedly on some plays against Christian Kirk, and I think even Rondell Moore. So he's going to have to get better at that, get used to the speed of the NFL game. Farley didn't play too much, if at all, I don't think. I don't know. So them two will have to get up to the speed of the game, the rookies. Janoris Jenkins was getting kind of burnt. He's just inconsistent. That's the way he's always been, especially against D-Hop. But I think our new number one should be Christian Fulton. He had 2 opportunities for picks. He could have easily had 2 picks this game. One in the end zone, and one was the penalty that they called back. He was holding A.J. Green, but then they picked the flag up. He could have easily had that pick too, so he could have easily had 2, and he was covering well against their top 2 receivers, whoever he was guarding on the outside, playing that outside corner number 2 spot. He was doing pretty well, and I think he should be the number 1. Janoris Jenkins, he came in for that veteran leadership, but you gotta give Fulton the credit where credit's due. He was locking up. Now I'm not gonna say he would have locked up Hopkins, but he showed that he can cover, and he's doing really well. And while we ease the 2 rookies in, that's really helpful. Hooker ended up getting hurt. I thought he did pretty well. He was a little late on a few, zone coverages in terms of getting to the spot wherever he needed to be. Byard came back. He got beat on a few plays, but I think some of those plays, like the touchdown he gave up, was just, better offense. And, better offense beats better defense most of the time. Pretty much all the time. If you throw it right on the money and you got your hand sticking out right there to block the ball, what else can you really do? You can't do too much. But he did have the pick. That's good. That's a good confidence boost for him, I think. And it's really going to show, I think, in the future, because that offense is good for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a low-key team. They're underrated. We shouldn't have gotten beat like this, don't get me wrong, but I think they'll see. We'll see how good the Cardinals do, especially in the NFC West. The Rams are looking great. I think the Rams will honestly win that division. But that's besides the point. But, I think if our defense can step up against the Seahawks next week, even the Seahawks might win that division too. I totally totally missed out on that. But that's our next game. So the defense, I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, it is the first week, and it's against a high-powered offense like the Cardinals with Hopkins and Kyler Murray creating his own plays, his own magic. It's hard to stop that when you can create your own time in the pocket and create your own time, being able to throw on the run. And that first touchdown to Hopkins was crazy. How he got out of the pocket, scrambled, and threw it basically across his body, which you're taught to never do that as a QB, honestly. He threw it across his body to Hopkins, and it was right on the money, and Hopkins made a great, toe touch and whatnot. So we'll see how they do next week against Chris Carson, Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. We'll see how they do, and obviously Russell Wilson. He's a scrambler. He can scramble, but they're not going to be running the air raid and running out a shotgun and doing all that stuff. They're more of like a Tennessee Titans offense, building the run up, play action, stuff like that. So it's something that our defense shouldn't be not used to in practice, So we'll see how they do with that. The offense should be able to step up a bit, being able to, they just got to get past Bobby Wagner. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head on that D-line, but Jamal Adams as well. Just get past them and, regroup. Fix our inconsistencies, find that strength from being able to build, start the run with Henry, and get creative. We can't just be stale and run up the middle, 2nd and 10, obvious play action on the 2nd down and make it 3rd and 10, or a short pass in the flats to like a 3rd and 6 or something. We can't do that. You got to build that up so you can get them crossers going, which is what absolutely killed teams last year with Corey Davis and A.J. Brown. Except we got Julio now. Julio, just throw it up to Julio. If it's one-on-one, Buda Baker yesterday, he couldn't cover, he couldn't double cover A.J. Brown and Julio at once. Just throw it up to one of them. See what they can do. Tannehill's got a laser. He don't throw ducks. He's not like Manning in his later career. You got to give him a chance, So that's pretty much all I can say. The kicker, Badgley, I'm glad he's gone. I think they cut him, so they're going to promote, I think, Randy Bullock to the from the practice squad. So we'll see how he does. Former Bengals kicker, former Texans kicker. We'll see how he does, but dear Lord, please let us, do something. Because, man, Tucker McCann was looking good, then he got hurt on that freaking field goal attempt, I think, is what it was. And then Ficken got hurt somehow, too, and he went to IR. So it's just, I don't know. Like, how does that happen? That's just our look with the special teams game. We need another Ryan Suckup. Ryan Suckup's killing it in Tampa Bay now. We should have never got rid of him. The only reason he was bad that last year is because he was hurt. He was hurt, and we got rid of him. Now he's killing it in Tampa Bay. But we just need a consistent kicker. But other than that, there's really not too much else to say. We just got our butts handed to us this game. I think the Titans will step back. No room for panic. I mean, we can be mad at this game and mad at the team for the expectations they had and how they just played in general. Like they weren't prepared like they should have been. But we have a full season. We really just got to keep pace with the Colts. Texans are not going to do anything. They're at 1-0 against the Jaguars. Jaguars ain't going to do too much, I don't think. So if we just keep pace with the Colts, who lost to the Seahawks last week, and they play the Rams this week, if we can steal a win against the Seahawks, as long as we're staying ahead of the Colts, we're fine. And that Week 3 game will be key. It'll be very key in the divisional race, and keeping pace with the Colts pretty much. As long as we keep pace with them, we should win the division and make the playoffs. We just got to find that groove. Henry always, he needs to shake off that early season rust he usually shows. And then our offensive coordinator, hopefully Downing just had a down, pun intended, but hopefully he just had a down game, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, this is my first video in a while. I'm glad I'm back. Not too much going on up here other than oh no, we suck again. But, first video back in a while. I love doing this. You know, it's been a rough summer in terms of like storylines for me, and being able to find a job. I have not been able to find a job. Like my whole personal life, it's been a little hectic this summer. So I'm glad football season's back. Hopefully, I should be making videos about my Vols, about these Titans. I'll have some collabs hopefully with my boy Noah. We'll see what happens with that. So, thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. More live streams in the future. Hopefully, game recaps with Noah. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll see. Oh, Jason, I just saw that, man. I had my thing closed. That's all me, bro. But if you're still watching, what up, fam? This game pissed me off so bad. Yep. Yeah, there's nothing really much else to say, man. I got to get back in the groove of this whole live chat thing. It's been a few months. So I'm a little rusty in terms of this, but thank you for watching, man. Give it a like, comment like Jason did, subscribe, and I'll be back next week. Could be doing a Vols video. Maybe I'll try to do a review for this next game with my boy Noah. We'll see what happens with that. See how his schedule turns out. Just get back in the groove of this. I love doing this. And I keep repeating the same things. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Thank you, Jason, for the comment. If you're still watching, sorry I didn't get to it earlier. Getting back to the groove of it. But we'll see y'all later. AFO out. God bless.